Hey guys, welcome to College Football Top 6 Rundown.
Rundown!
Woo!
He's the secret ninja today.
Yeah!
Alright, welcome to the show where we run down the top 6 conferences in college football. We're going to start with the ACC. Clemson moved up to number 7 after they beat Wake Forest in a thriller 31-28. Did you get a chance to catch that one, Arn?
No.
Well, it was a thriller. I caught it. They play at North Carolina State this week. I'm going to go for the upset. NC State pulls it out.
Yes, NC State.
Alright, number 8 is Virginia Tech. They won at Georgia Tech 37-26. They manhandled them. I mean, the game was only 11 points, but they manhandled them. I think they're going to probably win the ACC.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech, they are no longer ranked, finally. And they're probably out of the picture because Virginia Tech's in their division. Yeah, Virginia Tech just sewed up the berth in the conference title game. And Florida State moved into the rankings this week at number 25.
Went against Miami.
And they play at home against Virginia next week. But it's kind of a moot point because Clemson and Virginia Tech, I think, are already going to
23-19.
Number 5, Oklahoma had a bye week. Yeah. We're all looking forward to them playing versus Oklahoma State. But this leads us to our pick 6 of the week. They play at number 22, Baylor. What's the final score of the game going to be, Arvin?
I have no idea.
You got to pick it. It's the pick 6.
It will be, I think Baylor will be ahead by a touchdown.
You are psychotic.
Yes, I am. I'm a ninja.
Oklahoma will win this game 35-14.
Oh.
I'm calling that. All right. Baylor's number 22. They won at Kansas State, they won at Kansas 31-30 in overtime. That's sad. And yeah, Texas dropped to number 23 after an awful loss at Missouri, 17-5. Yeah. They play versus Kansas State this week. I think they're going to lose again. And I gave them benefit of the doubt last week because Arvin always says give people benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
You know what? I'm taking back everything I said. They suck.
Woo!
I said they suck at the beginning of the year. I'm sticking by that. Number 2, Oklahoma State. They played Texas Tech and it was ugly.
Oh,
They won 66-6. They play. They're gonna win against Oklahoma, I think, in 2 weeks. Go Oklahoma State to the title game. Van Gundy.
He's 40.
Number 13, Kansas State. They won a thriller versus Texas Tech, 53-50 in 4 overtimes.
Oh, yeah.
It's unfortunate though because they did lose to Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, so there's no way they're gonna win the Big 12. Yeah. Moving on to the Big East. Cincinnati is dropping out of the rankings because they lost to West Virginia, so nobody's ranked in the Big East anymore. Does that surprise you, Arvin?
No.
So we'll move on to the Big Ten. In the Big Ten, Michigan moved up to number 18. They won at Illinois 31-14. They play versus Nebraska this week. I don't know who's going to win that game. Either way, both of them are screwed because Michigan State's got a game up on them. So, number 15, Michigan State won at Iowa 37-21. I didn't think they would kill Iowa like that, but I guess it happens. They play versus Indiana this week and at Northwestern next week. So, I think they're going to the Big Ten title game. Number 14, Nebraska. They won at Penn State, 17-14. Are they a good team or are they a bad team? They got blown out at Wisconsin. They lost they lost to Northwestern at home. Are they a good team or not?
I don't know.
And then Penn State fell from 12th to 21st after the loss to Nebraska. I blame the media for that loss. I honestly think that first of all, I think the media is quick to try and convict Paterno and all the stuff that's happened with this scandal when the law has not taken its course yet. There hasn't been a trial. No one's been convicted. I don't understand why they fired Paterno. And they're hurting Penn State. And I think what it personally is the media has a vendetta against Penn State. They don't want them to win. You know, they want there to be a scandal. So, that being said, they play at Ohio State this week. I don't know if they can win that one. And I definitely think they'll lose at Wisconsin next week. So, sorry, Penn State. This looked like your year, guys. And I apologize for the way the media handled that situation. Number 17, Wisconsin, won at Minnesota, 42-13. That's not surprising. We'll have to win at Illinois and at home versus Penn State to play for the Big Ten title. I think we both probably think they're going to do that. Yeah. Moving on to Armin's conference, the Pac-12.
Yay! All right, so we have number 9 Stanford. They lost to Oregon, 53-30, and they play versus Cal, which they probably will win. Yeah, there was something about that game that everyone thought that Stanford was going to win. Yeah,
that
was a joke. Next up is number 4 Oregon. They are the real deal still, and they play versus USC this week. Now, we might see, who we're kidding, they're gonna crush USC. All right, so nothing surprising there, and basically...
and this week's stat of the week.
Yeah, stat of the week.
Stanford had 5 turnovers and lost to Oregon.
Yep. Now to the SEC.
The SEC, LSU, I think they're still the best team in the nation, undisputed. They beat Western Kentucky 42-9, and they play at Ole Miss this week. Alabama is still at 3. They won at Mississippi State 24-7, but they looked really ugly in the first half of that game. But I guess Alabama's been doing this now for a while. They'd look ugly in the first half of games, and then...
I think they're just playing them.
And then they play this week versus Georgia Southern. Yeah. Auburn fell to number 24 after Georgia rocked their world. They rocked their world. 45-7. Yeah, Georgia's the real deal. They're in the driver's seat in the SEC East, and they might give LSU a run for their money in that title game. Moving on to Arkansas, they moved up to number 6 after blowing out Tennessee 49-7. They play Mississippi versus Mississippi State this week. Could the SEC get 3 BCS berths?
Possibly.
Because, you got Arkansas at 6, Alabama at 3, and LSU at 1. Arkansas lost to Alabama, and they still have yet to play LSU.
That was a sweet punt return, by the way, against Tennessee.
Sweet. And then number 12, South Carolina. We kind of said that we thought Florida might upset them. They came that close. And I still think South Carolina sucks. I think they shouldn't be ranked higher than Georgia. They play versus the Citadel this week. Moving on to comments real fast. We have 2 this week. First one is from Mama Cat 1122. Watching your videos, I've come to see that from week to week, you guys aren't very consistent with who you think suck as a team. Find teams that you like and stick by them. It's nauseating to listen to you guys bash a team one week and speak highly of them the next. However, your videos are entertaining and insightful. Keep up the good work.
But wouldn't we be biased if we did that?
We like to give teams a chance, okay, to prove themselves.
Benefit of the doubt.
But we have been pretty consistently down on certain teams this year. South Carolina, Texas for the most part. We were pretty consistently down on Illinois. We're pretty consistent with that. Yeah, there are some waverings, but you gotta let teams prove themselves to you, And then Aaron Sham corrected us. We said that Oregon barely beat Washington 24-17. The score was actually 34-17.
Yes, it was.
Sorry about that.
Our bad.
And then Heisman watch real quick. Andrew Luck is still number 1, which I completely disagree with. Trent Richardson is 2. Brandon Weeden is moved up to 3, which I think he's going to win it. And then Case Keenum's 4. Michael James is 5. And Kellen Moore is 6. Well, that's it for the top 6.